Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and today I'm here to give you a Kickstarter preview of Big Easy Busking, designed by Joshua J. Mills and about to be published by Giraffe Games. This game will be live on Kickstarter starting on Monday, February 11th, and I'm here as usual to show you the awesome solo bots that Carla Kopp has created for this game. So in Big Easy Busking, we are street musicians who are trying to basically win the night by getting the most money because we have played with the most energy and we have played music that best matches the moods of the crowd at different locations along this street. So just a basic overview of what's going on up here, and then we'll rearrange it so you can see our play area. So in a standard setup, you have your street with, it'll be 3 crowd cards in this round, 4 in the next, and then 5 in the final round. And these are where we are going to be playing our songs. The other thing we have to do is figure out the mood of these locations. So we will put these little crown tokens on each, and then we're gonna flip them to figure out what the mood of each crowd is. Ooh, a romantic mood. So the crowd, this is a wild mood. And here's a mask, which is a chill mood. So basically what this means is that we can play any song we want in these locations, but we're gonna get little extra bonuses for playing songs that match the mood of the crowd. So these guys are up for anything, but as you can see on my player cards, I have symbols that will match the moods of specific places. The other rows you're going to set up are rows of songs. These here with the numbers on them, so you see -1, -1, -1, that's how much money they cost right now. These are the standard songs. So this one is gonna have a special ability. Every time I play this song, I can take up to 2 of my energy cubes on the crowd that I played for and then move them to a different crowd, which will let me redistribute my energy around town, trying to control these crowd cards. And these are just 2 songs that we can just play. We can't learn them and take them into our hand, but they're basically these kind of open songs that anyone could play and that we can use throughout the game. If you want to learn new songs, you're going to come up here to the melody market. So we have a draw deck here, and then every time I buy something off of this market row, I will put a new song out on the market. So every time I want to expand my repertoire, this is where I'm going to do it. And of course I have 3 starting songs, 1 for each of the moods, and we will be talking through how to actually play these, but you basically take energy from the players whose symbols are represented on the card. And so now I'll move things up a little bit so you can fully see what's going on down here. Here's the bot player, and here's me. On my card, you can see that I've given 4 energy cubes to each of my awesome musicians. So I have a sax player, a drummer, and a trumpet player. And they're all ready to rock out here in New Orleans. But they each get 4 energy, and then there's a reserve of 3 more energy cubes over here. They also start with $3, so it's not a lot of money, but it's a start. Hopefully we'll make some more of it. And then of course I have my opening hand of cards down here. To set up your bot, it's actually very easy. The first thing you do is you make a deck out of all the other player cards that aren't in use, so all the cards with meeples on them get shuffled together to create the bot deck. And when the bot plays songs, this is what it's going to draw off of. The bot also starts with $3 on normal mode, and you give it energy cubes of a different color. The thing about the bot though is it's kind of like playing against a jukebox. If it runs out of this energy, you just give it more. It theoretically never runs out of energy, so get ready to keep up. So as usual, Carla Kopp is never content to have a lazy solo mode, which I really appreciate. So there are actually 3 bots in the box that we could test out. So there's the following robot, who basically will follow you from crowd to crowd and try to play where you just played, which is really annoying. There is the moody robot, who focuses its play on matching the mood of various crowds. But the one that we're going to look at today is called the threshold robot. So this robot's gonna try to meet the threshold on all crowds. So what that means is that if you look at each of these cards, and this is why it's a music playing area control game, you have to leave a certain amount of your musician's energy on the card to get any money at all. So on this card, the threshold is 2 cubes, but you get $1 for doing that by the end of the round. 1 and 1, 4 for $3. If you're the person who has the most energy on a card at the end of the round, you get the threshold if you've made that, but you also get this little crown bonus. So what we're looking for is trying to meet the threshold on enough of these cards to actually make some money. And then it's also having the most money on these cards so that we can, having the most energy on these cards so we can also get the control bonus. Because again, the goal is to have as much money as possible by the end of the game. And this robot's gonna have some serious advantages going forward. But anyway, the threshold bot's job is to try to meet the threshold on all the crowds, which means that baseline, it's going to try to make all those base amounts of money. The other thing the robot will do once it's met the threshold everywhere is it'll start trying to leave enough energy on these cards to get a tip, which is something that we're about to cover during gameplay. So basically the threshold bot is a lot like a human player in that it is all about that money, it has boundless energy, and it's gonna do everything it can to just make bank all night long. All right, so we've done a little bit of rearranging for visibility. The melody market's over here now. The standard songs that anybody can play are over here now. And I just want you to be able to see all of the gameplay as it goes on. So turn structure in Big Easy Busking is actually really, really simple. You have a limited number of things that you can do per round, but choosing what it is you should be doing is very difficult, which makes it exactly the right kind of simple game. Easy to learn, hard to master. So on a turn sequence, if you were playing a song from the previous turn, the first thing you do is finish the song, which is something that I'm going to show you once we've actually got songs that are played out here on the market, out here on the row. So after you finish a song that you've been playing, you can choose to tip any of your band members. So as you might have noticed, each of my band members has finite energy, and some of these songs are kind of expensive, especially if, like, let's say I wanted to play this wild song over here. My sax player would have to give up 1 energy, my trumpet player would have to give up 2, and my drummer would also have to give up 2. Or even this party song, right? 2 and 2, that's half the energy of each of those players. So in order to keep them feeling energized and ready to keep up for the night, you can choose to tip your players. And so what you do is you give $1 for every energy cube you want to take from your reserve and put on your players. Of course, money is the way that you win the game. So if you spend all of your money on energy, you might not have enough money at the end of the game. However, if your guys run out of energy too early and don't make the money that they could, you're also not going to win the game. So you have to figure out the right amount of tipping to maintain that tension between having enough energy and having enough money. And then on your turn, you must take one of 3 actions, and you can only choose 1 per turn. So you can either play a song. So what that would mean is that if I wanted to play this romantic song, I would put my card up here. I would put the amount of energy required for my players, so 2 trumpet player energy and 2 drummer energy up here, and that would count as playing a song, and you leave it until the beginning of the next turn, which starts with finishing a song. So you can play a song. You can also play from over here on the standard row. You spend the energy and you also spend $1. After you've played it the first time for the round, it goes up to $2 of cost to play a standard song. If you don't want to play a song, you can also choose to learn a song, and that's basically where you purchase a song over here from the melody market that costs 1 energy from each of your musicians, so they have to put a little time and energy into learning a new song. But this basically is a little bit of hand building that you can do to give yourself some more options. So you can either play a song, learn a song, or if you don't want to do either of those things, you can pass. But once you pass, you don't get another turn. You've officially withdrawn from the round, and you won't play again until the next round. So let's play through a full turn and see what happens. The robot is going to go first. So what we know is that, okay, so the robot doesn't have a song to finish right now, so we're gonna skip this step this time. So the robot will always either finish songs or play songs. That's its MO. So in order to play a song, we're gonna flip a song from the robot player's song deck. And then if the robot has not met threshold on every crowd, which is the case because it hasn't played on every crowd yet, we're gonna play on the crowd furthest to left that matches the mood. And if there are no matching moods that have not met threshold, then we'll play on the crowd furthest to the left that hasn't met the threshold. So basically, the robot will always make its most optimal move depending on the mood of the card that you draw. So we're gonna draw a card off the robot deck. Okay, so we got this kind of party mood. We're gonna play this card on the first card on the left that matches the mood. So this card doesn't match because it's got a romantic mood. This one has wild, it matches every mood. So the robot is gonna play its little party song to this card. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna cost the robot 4 energy. So 3 for the sax player, except that it's like an automated machine band or something like that, like a creepy Chuck E. Cheese band that never runs out of electricity. And then we're gonna have a drummer. So now it's my turn. I don't have any songs to finish, but I do have to figure out what I wanna play. So eventually I'm gonna wanna purchase some songs for my deck, but right now what I'm concerned about is making sure that I get out there and get some control over this space. So I think these cards are both fairly lucrative, but this one is of course the most lucrative. If I can leave 4 energy on this card, and if I can leave 4 energy on this card, and then also be the person with the most energy on this card, I can get 3 for my threshold bonus, and 5 total for being in charge of the card. That is something that I really, really like. So I think what I'm gonna do is, just because this is in a chill mood, doesn't mean that I can't play a party song. So I think what I may end up doing is I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna play this song, and I'm gonna take 2 energy from my sax player. She is very cool. And then I'm gonna take 2 energy from my drummer. And that's the song that I'm gonna play this turn. And then when I finish that song, I'm actually gonna leave all of this energy on the card and meet the threshold. So now it is the robot's turn. And what's gonna happen is that this robot is going to decide how much energy, it's gonna finish playing the song. And when you finish playing a song, you leave energy on the card, and then you also, depending on some factors, decide whether to take some energy back and put it with your band. So we're gonna talk through that process really quick. So when you finish playing a song, if your song does not match the mood of the crowd, which is like my song over here, this mood, this party mood does not match this chill mood, then you have to leave all of the energy that was on this card on the crowd card, and you don't get to take any back. That's okay with me right now. I'm deliberately trying to meet this threshold, so I chose a card that would cost 4 and played it here. So I'm good with that. The robot, however, played this party mood to a wild token. And what that means is that any song is going to match the mood of this crowd. This crowd is ready for any kind of music. They're just ready to hear stuff. If the moods match, you can choose between one of the following things. So you either put all of the energy on the card, on the crowd card, and then you get $1 back from the supply, or you only place as much energy as you want to on the crowd card, and then you pull the rest back into your supply. So you can redistribute energy among your band members any way you want by kind of overpaying on a song that matches the mood and then taking some of those energy cubes back. So what's gonna happen here is that this robot is only going to leave enough energy tokens to get the threshold payment, and then it's gonna take all the rest back. If the robot left all energy, then it would also get $1, but that's not what's gonna happen. The robot is gonna put 1 cube here, and it's gonna take the rest of the 3 back to its supply because these moods matched. And then the threshold for this card was only 1. So in order to meet the threshold, the robot did not need to leave 4 energy on the card. It's only gonna leave 1. Then the song is gonna go into the robot discard pile because you don't keep the songs that you play in your hand. They go into your discard and you shuffle them back in at the end of the round. So now that our robot friend has finished its first song, it's going to play another song and see what happens. So, oh no, so it's gonna come over here because see how this mood matches? It's going to go to the first card on the left that matches the mood where it hasn't met the threshold. So this would technically count as matching the mood, but the robot's already played there. So now the robot's going to come here. And the robot is going to put 4 energy on this card. So what that means is that unless I do something, this robot is gonna tie me and I'm not gonna get that sweet, sweet bonus for basically owning the turf on this card. So I'm gonna have to figure out some fancy footwork to see if I can keep it. So it's my turn now. And the first thing I'm gonna do is finish playing this song. Because these moods don't match, all of my energy cubes go onto this card with no negotiation and no sweet tip money. However, I have met the threshold on this card and I'm happy with that. This card's gonna go into my discard for the moment, but it'll be back for next round. Now I have to figure out what I want to do next. The thing is, my drummer's running a little bit low on energy, but I'm gonna need to push him a little bit the question is, now that I've finished playing a song, do I want to tip him before I go on to playing another song? I think right now we're not going to tip him because we can push him a little bit further before he gets that tip. I'm so mean to my poor musicians. What we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and try to claim some turf on this card up here. So I'm going to play this heart card that is in the same romantic mood as this crowd. My poor drummer is going to get a little tired out, but we'll tip him next time, I promise. And then this trumpet player is going to spend his first 2 energy. So these moods match. I'm going to show you something a little tricksy that I want to do with one of the standard cards. So now that was my turn. We are back to the robot. So what's going to happen is the robot's going to finish playing its song. In this case, because the threshold is 4, the robot is going to leave all 4 of its energy cubes on this card. Take this back, but because these moods match and the robot left all of its energy, it's also going to earn $1 in tip money. So the robot is now pulling ahead of me on cash, which is a little bit stressful, but we'll do our very best. Okay, so now the robot is going to play another song. Okay, and it's a heart. It's a romantic song, but it actually has less energy than I'm putting on there, only 3. So I'm actually not too freaked out by this. Because yeah, it's going to meet the threshold, but I'm going to keep some area control on the card. So I'm hoping that I can like cut this round off quickly enough to keep the robot from beating me. All right, so now we're back to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, okay, so I need some tip money, but I also need some energy. So I have to think about what I want to do. I also want to win this card. So I'm going to go ahead and leave all my energy on this card, which means that I'm going to get $1 of tip money myself. However, rather than keep it like that greedy robot, I'm actually going to spend 2 of my dollars to take 2 energy from my reserve and give it to my drummer. Because my drummer definitely needs a little bit of juice. Now I'm going to get to decide what else to do. And I think what I'm going to do is, this is potentially risky, but I'm going to spend another $1. And I'm actually going to play this standard song over here at this location. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna use 2 of my drummer's energy. This poor drummer, his arms are tired. And 1 from my sax player. I'm also gonna have to pay $1, which I just did, in order to play this song. If I wanted to play it again in a future round, that's gonna go up to $2. So I'm gonna show you in a moment why I'm doing this. Actually, I'm gonna play it here. We're gonna play this song here at this, this more expensive location. But the song has a special ability that is going to trigger after I finish playing it, so I can show you something else cool that you can do in the game. All right, so now it's the robot's turn again. It's gonna finish its song. So in this case, the moods match, but it hasn't met threshold. So it's going to pay just enough energy to meet the threshold, take this 1 energy cube back, and discard this card. And now it's gonna play another song. All right, so now the rules are going to change a little bit for this bot player because it's met the threshold on all of these spaces. So what that means is that now we are going to be trying to get majority on spaces by prioritizing where a card that the robot draws matches the mood. But in general, we're still going to be going for majority on the leftmost card that it can play on. So now what the robot player is going to do is it's going to take another card. Oof. All right, so it is a romantic mood card, so we're gonna have to kind of fight over this space a little bit. Yikes. Because it's gonna be going for majority here. So that's the song the robot has played. It's gonna do one more thing, however. Now that it's made its thresholds, it's also going to start pulling from the song deck. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take the top card of this deck and we're gonna put it here on the robot player's deck. So it's gonna start siphoning cards away from me and songs that I could learn the longer I let it run, which is something serious to think about. But now it's my turn. So I'm gonna finish this song. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 cube here to try to solidify a majority. I'm a little worried the robot's going to come over here, but I also want to spread across different spaces. I'm going to put a cube here. And the reason I'm going to do that is because then if the robot player can play here, it will come fight me for majority rather than going here. So I was thinking that if I can get it to go here instead, I don't care about this card as much. And then I'm going to put 1 cube here. And then I'm going to see if I can... So I'm at least going to tie the robot here, and I'm going to see if I can beat him. So what's going to happen now is I've played this song, and we are going to move it back over here to the row, but now it costs $2 to play instead of just 1. Also, just FYI, I could not legally play that song again this turn now that I've just put it back. You have to give it some breathing room. I should clarify, by the way, the reason I was able to distribute all of those cubes is that this one does have a special ability. So after finishing playing, you could take up to 2 of your energy cubes on this crowd and then move them to a different crowd. So that is what I did. I redistributed some of my energy so that I can shore up across multiple spaces. So using that special ability is potentially going to really help me in this round. We'll have to see. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tip my drummer with my last money. But I think the guy needs some energy, and it's the last energy we have. We're gonna go for it. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and play our last song, our little swan song over here. So I really need to get this card over here, and hopefully this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and play my last song, right over here. So we are gonna play it to this song. So that's gonna take 1 energy from each of my musicians. And that is gonna be our turn. So now it's the robot player's turn again, and we're gonna see what it's gonna do. This is a little scary, actually. So it's gonna put all of its cubes here on this card, and it's gonna take, because these types match, it's also gonna get $1 for that. So it just keeps adding to its money supply. And then this will go in the robot discard. Now the robot's gonna draw the top card of its deck, which, as we know, is one of these songs from the Melody Market. All right, cool. So the official instructions: play the crowd furthest to left that matches where the robot does not have majority. That'll be here. That's fantastic for me because the robot is going to come here and it is going to just put its energy here to try to get majority on this card, which is perfect because I don't want it to do more than that right now. However, it's also going to take the top card of this deck again and put it on its deck. So the robot's siphoning off my cards. I've got to make it stop before we end up in some trouble. So it is my turn now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put all my energy on here, discard this card. Sadly, I don't get a tip for doing it. And then instead of taking an action and trying to play another song or anything like that, I'm actually going to pass. So I'm passing, I'm out of this round. But what that means is that now on the robot's turn, the robot is going to put all of its energy on here. Since it was wild, the robot will get to take another coin. But that means that the robot is also not going to pass. It doesn't keep playing after you've withdrawn from the round. So now we're at a place where we can calculate score and see how it wins. So it didn't go great for me. We'll see just how bad it was. So when you take score when you pay out for these cards, the way it's going to work is that if you meet the threshold, you get a bonus no matter what. And if you've also got the most tokens on the card, then you get that crown bonus as well. So on this card, I definitely have the majority of energy. We're just gonna like redistribute everything back over here. So what's gonna happen is that both the robot and I met the threshold, so we each get 1 coin. But I also get an additional 3 coins because I won the battle for control of that card. So another 3 to me. Not that encouraging compared to the robot's bank, but you know, it's okay. So I'm also going to take this heart because if the robot and I are tied, then whoever has the most mood tokens from winning area control will win the game. So I'm going to take that token. Now we're going to look at the next card. So what's going to happen is that the robot won this one. So the robot and I both met the threshold. So we each get 1 coin. And then the robot gets an additional 2 for winning that card. And it's going to get this mood token. So I'm just going to give all of our energies back. And then on this last card, both the robot and I met the threshold, so we each get 3. But I won, so I get an additional 5. So I'm gonna use this gold to mean 5. And that is how payout works. I'm also gonna take this token. And that is the end of this round. So we're gonna go through cleanup, but first I just wanna show you how the robot and I are doing for money since everything's a little scattered down here. So for now, the robot and I are actually tied, which actually surprises me because I give out so much money in tips and I'm gonna have to give out so much more, which concerns me. But for now, we're tied. I'm just gonna take that. So now I'm all set up for round 2. I've reset the price of songs on the standard song row back to -$1 to play them. So we'll probably be using that ability again. That was pretty useful. My energy is all reset. Each of my band members is up to full energy with my reserve. My money's back here, and all of my song cards, which isn't many, I could really probably stand to buy some this round if I have time, is back in my hand. I've reshuffled the robot deck so that they've got a fresh setup ready to go. And as you can see, instead of 3 street cards this time with crowds, we have actually laid out 4 of them and put out their mood tokens. So we are ready to rock. So in a game with humans, I actually have more of these mood tokens than the robot, and I would go first, but it is the solo bot mode, so the bot always goes first. So our robot friend is going to be the first to play a song. We got some romance. So the bot is actually gonna come right over here and put down some energy onto this romantic song. So this is the one that's actually worth more in terms of area control. These are the ones I'm gonna be fighting for. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that, but for now I think what I'm gonna do, while I still have some energy, I think I might actually grab a song. So to buy a song off the Melody Market, what you do is you take one energy token from each of your musicians, and you put them in your reserve. That's where they go. So I can basically pay my musicians tips if I want to get them back out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and learn this romantic song that's pretty cheap so that I can maybe compete for this more easily in just a moment. So now I have 4 songs in my hand. I learned a song and that was my turn. That's all I get to do. So I basically gave up playing a song and claiming some turf in order to purchase a song for my deck. We're also going to pull another one off the stack. Now our friend the robot is going to put exactly 2 tokens here, and it's going to take 1 back because now it has met threshold on this card. And we'll see what it draws next. It is going to be a party song. So this is the furthest to left. So it's going to go for this one now. So I'm happy to leave it kind of distracted on these while I'm trying to gain a little ground here. I'm going to play my own party song to this spot. So I'm going to put 2 energy for my sax player, 2 energy from my drummer onto this card, and that's the song that I've played for this turn. I didn't finish playing a song because I didn't play one last turn. So now it's the bot's turn again, and it's going to put exactly 2 tokens here and pull 1 back. And then this song will go into discard, and we're going to draw another song. All right, so the robot is going for a chill song this time. So that's what we're getting. And it's gonna put it right here with 4 energy. I'm kind of glad that it's doing this though, because it means that it's at least not gonna take money. Ooh, getting some area control in here is gonna be tough though, because I've barely done anything and this robot's going wild. So let's see what we can pull off. So what I think I'm gonna do here, because I have some fairly cheap cards to play for the moment, is I'm gonna go ahead and put all of my energy on this card in hopes that the robot can't take it away from me. And then I'm actually gonna get a coin as a tip for doing that. I'm gonna pay that coin as a tip, and I'm gonna pay 1 more to put some energy back onto my sax player and my drummer. This will also go in my discard. So now we are gonna get to play a song, and I think what I'd like to play is some romance. So let's go ahead, we're gonna get up here and we're gonna use some of that sexy drum and trumpet energy to play a romantic song. And that's what we're gonna do. So now the robot's gonna finish its current song and it's gonna put 3 of these cubes onto the card and draw this one back because now it's met threshold. This will get discarded. So now it's gonna play another song. Okay, so what's gonna happen is even though this is a romance card, it's already met threshold here. So it's actually going to play here because this is the furthest card from the left where it has not met the threshold. So our little robot friend is gonna come over here and put 3 energy here. So it's still not beating me for energy, but I'm definitely a little bit nervous because I don't want to have to fight too hard for this. So now I'm going to finish my song. And I think what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put 3 energy here because I still have a romance song, and I'm going to take some energy back from my drummer. I'm going to put that in discard. Then what I think I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and try to at least meet the threshold here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna tip so I can put 1 more energy on my drummer. And then I'm gonna pay another $1, ooh, I'm spending, to play this song so I can do a little bit of redistribution. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it right here. And it's gonna take 2 drummer energy and 1 sax energy. But what I'm hoping is that by doing this, I can put some cubes here, but then I can maybe also distribute them where I need to distribute them. Actually, if I don't even have to play it here on this matching symbol, I can play it anywhere I want. I don't really want to meet this threshold. 3 for 2 doesn't seem like a great deal, but this actually seems like it could be good. So the robot is going to leave 2 cubes here, and then it's going to pull 1 back, and this will go in the discard. All right, so now what's going to happen is the robot's gonna draw 1 more card. All right, and it's gonna fight for the spot where it doesn't have majority. So it's gonna come here again. Uh-oh. So it's gonna pay 3 energy. Okay. It's also going to draw a card at the top of the deck because it's met the threshold everywhere, so it'll take a card. All right, so I definitely cannot let the robot have this. And I don't want to tie either. So you know what, I'm just gonna have to play this song. I'm gonna have to put 1 cube here, and then again, after finishing playing, I can take up to 2 of my energy cubes on this card and move them to a different crowd. So basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna play my song and I'm gonna leave all the energy cubes, which I do believe means that I get a $1 tip, but I can redistribute 2 of these energy cards. So energy cubes. So I'm actually gonna take them, I'm gonna put them here, so that it'll be 5 to 6, and I'll know that I can win it. It's too bad I wasn't able to leave 1 more here, but it is what it is. I've done what I can. And then I'm gonna choose to pass, because if I keep playing, I'm gonna get overrun. So now the robot is gonna put all of its cubes here. It's going to take a $1, and that'll be the end of the round. Okay. So now we're gonna count score. It's not looking great for me, but it's all right. So here I did not meet threshold and the robot killed me. So it got 3 points. And here the robot is gonna get 4 because I just couldn't compete. So we'll give him a 5 and put some change back. Here, however, the robot gets 2, but I'm gonna get 6. So that's pretty good. And then here, the robot gets 1, but I get 5. So 5 for me and 1 for the bot. So let's do a quick money check and show y'all where we're at. So I'm sorry to report that I am at 22 and the robot is at 24. So it's got a little bit of a lead over me. We will set up for round 5, and round 3 with 5 crowd cards, sorry. And we will see how it goes. Oh, and just in case you're counting, we should give these tokens. These ones will go to the bot. And these will go to me. All right, so once again, we have reset. We have 5 crowd cards out this time with 5 new mood tokens. Our river is still here. Our standard songs are still here. My musician's energy is reset. My discard is returned to my hand. Everybody's ready to go. So now the robot is going to play, and we're just gonna have to see what it wants to do. All right, so it drew a wild. What that means is it's gonna play on the leftmost card where it has not met its threshold, so it's just gonna come right here. All right, so this card is about to put at least 3 energy on here, but it's worth up to $6, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's going to be worth it to me here. Okay, so now it is my turn. This card is very lucrative, and so is this one. So I definitely want to focus my energies down here, and then maybe pick up at least one more on the top row. It's going to be tough to get all this energy, but I do have a lot of romance cards, so let's see what we can pull off. It's just that each of these needs a base of 4 energy, and I only have 4 per player. Woo! All right, so let's just go ahead and play here. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 trumpet energy and 2 drummer energy on this card, and we're going to go for it and try to get this. So I've played my card. So now the robot player is going to play its song. It'll put 3 on here and pull 2 back and discard. Next, it's going to draw a romance. It's going to come to this leftmost romance, and it's going to put all 4 of its energy on this card. So I'm going to have to fight for it if I want it. So it's my turn. I'm going to go ahead and put my energy on here. I'm going to discard this card, and I do get a tip because I left all of my energy on a card that had a matching mood. So that's good. Now let's see what else I want to do, because I'm going to need to fight for this card if I want it. I'm actually going to go ahead and we're going to play this 4 energy card over here. I mean, I'm not going to get a tip for it, but I'm willing to dump all that energy. My poor drummer is getting abused. So that's my goal. So now the robot player is going to put all 4 of its energy on here. It will get a tip for matching type. And now it is going to play another song. So let's see what it's going to play. Okay, so it's drawn another romance. However, it's met threshold here, so it's actually going to come here, but it's only going to put 3 energy on. So that'll be a really interesting thing to see happen. All right, so now I'm going to play. So I'm going to play my song. I'm going to pull this card into my discard. I have met threshold on here at least. And now I'm actually going to spend 2 money to get my drummer back up in health a little bit here because he is looking tired. Now I get to play another song. What would I like to play? I'm definitely going to go play up here because 3 energy seems like a good idea to me, and it's matching type, so I can maybe get another bit of tip money. So I'm going to put my energy up here. Now the robot's going to put all of its energy on here, which means that it will get a tip, but it hasn't met threshold. So if it pulls another romance, it's actually going to come here again. So let's see what it draws. Oh, okay, so I got a party card. So it's going to come over here, and it's going to put 2 energy to party down, which I can tolerate that because I would like to get all the cards, but I'm doing what I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish playing my song. I'm going to go ahead and put all the energy on here. It's going to get me another tip. And who should I use that tip on? Because I don't have a ton of energy left to spend. Ooh. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and give up this card. I'm doing okay here. I'm going to come here. I'm going to play these last 2 energies that I want to play. And that's my turn. So now the robot is going to put 1 of its cubes here and take 1 back. And it's going to draw another card. Let's see what it draws. Okay, so this is actually great, and I'm going to tell you why. So we're not going to get a lot of money off this card, the robot and I, but here's what will happen. So the robot's going to put 4 energy on here, but it's not going to put 4 energy on the card because it hasn't met threshold yet. And the way that the bot plays is that it pulls back at the moment that it's met threshold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put both of my energy on here. I'm going to take a tip, and I'm going to pass, which means that the robot is only going to put 1 down to meet threshold, finish its song, and then it's going to pass. And now we are going to take score. So the robot and I are pretty close. I don't think I'm going to win, but I've been trying to minimize the damage here. So let's see what we can do with that. All right, so for card payout, here's what's going to happen. The robot is going to get 6 for here. So that's a bummer, and I'm not gonna get anything. Here, however, I'm gonna get 6 and the robot doesn't get anything. So that's nice, I guess. Here the robot's gonna get 5 and I won't get anything. Here, I'm gonna get 7 and the robot will get 5. So 5 for the robot, 7 for me. And then here, I'm gonna get, we're both gonna get 4. So I think the robot got me for sure. So what I'll do is I'll just do 5 and change, 5 and change. So let's do a final count. So as you can see, the robot kicks my butt. It has like $46 and I'm sitting here at 35, 39. So 39 to 46. So close, but so far. Also, that's not a whole lot of dollars for this much work. But no, seriously, I hope that you've enjoyed this demo of the solo mode for Big Easy Busking. As you can see, this bot is hard, and this is only the medium level. So if you want a bot that's really gonna take you to task and make you figure out how to maximize your resources and play smart, then this is going to be a game for you. Also, I just didn't even bother to assign these mood tokens out because there's no way it was gonna be a tie. Woof. So again, if you want a challenging solo mode, Big Easy Busking, we're Giraffe Games.